Good morning, madam. I am Si Kit, number matrix 2777079. I am going to deliver a persuasive speech with topic about let's stop drunk driving. Do you guys know about the driving culture of Malaysia? Malaysia has a well-known high-quality road infrastructure, particularly on highways connecting the country's major cities. In general, driving in Malaysia is safe, and Malaysians like it. With 93% of families having a car, the country boasts the world's third highest percentage of car ownership. Since there are most people can drive, the cases of drunk driving in Malaysia also happen commonly, especially at the midnight. According to the Transport Ministry written parliamentary response to Tumpak MP Datuk Sheikh Abdullah Nawawi on 13 November 2018, the number of people died in drunk driving accidents was 49 in 2010 and 33 in 2011, before skyrocketing to 136 in 2012 and climbing steadily to 207 in 2013, 193 in 2014, 229 in 2015, and 237 in 2016. In the 8 years between 2011 and 2018, a total of 1,147 individuals died in Malaysia drunk driving accidents. The people who die in drunk driving accidents do not only include the drunk driver, but also the innocent stranger who walk on the street. Today, I will give a speech about let's stop drunk driving to tell my audience about the action required to deal with the problem of drunk driving to persuade everyone has to stop drunk driving. Let's begin with drunk driving is a dangerous action that threatens the safety of people. Firstly, we should know that drunk driving is a dangerous action that threatens the safety of people. Drunk driving risks not just the driver's life at stake, but also thousands of innocent strangers. According to the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in India, there are over 16 people die in road accidents every hour. All of this because some of the drivers are not clear enough about the risks when they are drunk driving. Alcohol impairment is a significant element in the occurrence of accidents and the severity of their repercussions. Driving under the influence of alcohol will endanger the pedestrians and riders of motorized two-wheelers. Drunk driving impairs one's ability to drive. By impairing the brain function, alcohol can impair the thinking, our coordination, and motor coordination of our brain. All of these abilities are critical and necessary for safe vehicle driving, but the presence of alcohol in the body will affect these skills and reduce the ability of a driver to drive. There are different levels of effect according to the blood concentration in our body. The slight effect such as the slight body warmth, but the release of inhibition, memory impairment, slow thinking, and loss of balance are considered a serious effect that might cause an accident to happen. Moving on to the next point, besides, drunk driving is a dangerous action caused by impaired judgment. Impaired judgment is the most important factor that causes an accident to happen in drunk driving. Impaired judgment is a medical condition in which a person is unable to make correct decisions due to an underlying medical condition, environmental circumstance, food, medications, or alcohol. Many persons with impaired judgment also have a mild cognitive impairment which affect their memory, their language, and the thinking skills. According to the Mayo Clinic, intoxication with alcohol also affect the rational part in our brain, which is responsible for good judgment and reasoning. This means that the driver's capacity to distinguish between the right and wrong, good and terrible, will be severely harmed. Driving while drunk might result in life-altering trauma. Teens are already untrained drivers and they are 3 times more likely to be involved in a car accident than experienced adults. When teens drink alcohol, their chance of dying in an automobile accident rise dramatically, putting them 17 times more likely to die in an accident. An increased chance of a car accident also signifies an increased likelihood of a traumatic adjustment disorder, major depressive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and personality disorder are among them. In addition, a teen has a much longer chance at life and recover with a traumatic event, so we have to discussing with them impaired driving is vital for both their physical and mental health. After that, some action has to be taken by the government. Drunk driving is a dangerous action and some action has to be taken by the government. Why? Because the law in Malaysia to punish the drunk driver is too weak and too lenient. Drunk driving is only punishable in Malaysia under Section 45A(1) of the Road Transport Act 1987, which prescribes a fine of not less than 1,000 ringgit and not more than 6,000 ringgit, or a sentence of not less than 12 months in prison, whichever is greater. It appears unsympathetic to the innocent kills and the pain suffered by the victim's family. So we can notice that the punishment is not strict enough to reduce the case of death caused by drunk driving on the road right now. Accidents involving alcoholic drivers causing the death of others have become increasingly common in recent years, prompting a slow of response from the public, pushing the government to address the problem by tightening current drunk driving regulation. Accidents involving intoxicated drivers that threaten the life of others became more frequent in recent years, eliciting a barrage of widespread backlash and forcing the government to deal with the problem by tightening the existing drunk driving regulation. In 2020, the Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has directed the Ministry of Transport to alter the Road Transport Act 1987 Act 333 to make people who are found guilty of driving while intoxicated or under the influence of narcotics face harsher penalties. Alcohol-impaired driving prevention and reduction efforts should be strengthened. The alcohol-impaired driving laws should be strengthened especially for people who are under 21 years old. Driving with any measurable amount of alcohol in one system is banned under zero tolerance legislation. Then the sobriety checkpoints should be set up to allow police to take over vehicles in high visibility areas for a brief stop to check for impairment. The police may stop all or a section of the drivers. For maximum impact, sobriety checkpoints should be widely publicized. Conclusion: despite years of development around the world, drunk driving remains a major public health and safety problem that concerns that cannot be ignored by us. Just imagine that situation: you are drunk and cause an accident happen when you are driving with your family, friends, or any passengers. If one of them die because of you, this will be the regretful memories that accompany you the whole life. Drunk driving is a serious problem in our culture today, and first-time offenders should be imprisoned so that the accidents like this do not happen as frequently. Make well-informed selections. I believe that there's nobody wants to find themselves in this kind of situation. I will end up my speech here. Thank you.